Imagine this. You roll into camp hungry, tired, lights fading, and your stove either makes that night unforgettable or ruins it in 15 frustrating minutes. Today, let's make sure your stove is the hero of your trip, not the reason you're eating cold noodles in the dark. We're counting down 5 best camping stoves you can grab right now, from compact ultralight burners to a surprisingly powerful kerosene beast at number 1. You'll get real pros, honest cons, and what each stove actually feels like to use out in the wild. All right, let's kick it off. 5. Hisencn 2 Burner Foldable Camping Stove. This one looks like a tiny camp kitchen in a box, and honestly, that's exactly how it feels when you flip it open at camp. You get 2 gas burners plus a griddle plate, so you're not just boiling water, you're doing pancakes, bacon, burgers, stir fry, the fun stuff. Each burner can crank out serious heat, up to around 20,000 BTU combined, which means you're not standing there forever waiting for water to boil. It folds down to roughly 10 by 9 by 2.4 inches and comes with a carry bag, so it slides into a trunk or gear bin pretty easily for car camping. Cooking on it feels like bringing a mini home stove to camp. Set up on a camp table, the stainless and aluminum body feels solid, and once those dual burners are lit, you can run a pot on one side and the griddle on the other without it feeling cramped. The griddle heats pretty evenly for camp gear, so eggs don't all run to one lava-hot corner while the rest stays raw, which, is kind of the whole point of having a grill out there. Now, here's where the honeymoon fades a bit. This thing weighs around 8.6 to almost 9 pounds, depending on the kit, and you feel every pound when you're hauling it from the car to a walk-in site. 4. BRS 3000T Ultralight Titanium Alloy Stove. Now we swing way to the other extreme. The BRS is so light it feels like you forgot to pack a stove at all. We're talking around 25 to 26 grams, under an ounce, made from titanium alloy, and it basically disappears in your pack or even a pocket. Screw it on to a standard isobutane canister, flip out the tiny pot supports, crack the valve, and you've got flame. It's the definition of just enough stove for people who obsess over every gram. Using it on trail, the first reaction is usually, that's it? Then you fire it up and realize, yeah, this little thing actually cooks. It's perfect for a solo setup with a 500 to 700 milliliter pot, boiling water for coffee, ramen, freeze-dried meals. For 3-season backpacking, it hits that sweet spot where the stove basically never feels like the heavy part of your kit. It's cheap too, which makes it even more tempting if you're building a lightweight kit on a budget. But, and it's a real but, you pay for that featherweight design. The pot supports are small, so once you move beyond a modest backpacking pot, things get sketchy. Put a wide, heavy pan or a big group pot on there, and the whole setup can feel wobbly and anxious, like one wrong stir and dinner is in the dirt. Wind is another weak spot. Without built-in wind protection, even a light breeze can kick the flame around and really stretch your boil times. 3. Facitsolvit Camping Backpacking Stove. The Facitsolvit is one of those burners that feels overbuilt in a good way. You get a portable stove with a wide burner head, strong pot supports, and a fuel canister adapter, so you're not locked into just one canister type. At 6,800 watts, this thing can rip. It's made to boil water fast and handle real meals, not just cup noodles. Out in the field, the difference from the BRS is obvious the first time you drop a larger pot on it. Those beefier supports and broader stands make everything feel calmer and more stable. You can run a medium pot of pasta or soup for 2 or 3 people without that don't bump the table energy. The piezo ignition that many versions of this style stove include means you're just clicking and lighting, which feels great when your fingers are cold or you don't want to fumble for a lighter. The flame pattern is another strong point. Instead of a tight pencil-like flame, it spreads out enough to avoid hot spots, which is huge for anything more involved than boiling water.
Pancakes, one-pot rice dishes, or frying up some sausage all benefit from that more even heat across the bottom of your cookware. Combine that with precise flame control, and you can go from roaring boil to gentle simmer with a small twist, which makes cooking less guess and hope and more, yep, that's exactly what I want.
2. WADEO 7200W Windproof Camping Stove. Now we're talking raw power with brains. The WADEO stove is built for those it's colder and windier than the forecast said moments. That 7200 watt output is no joke. Crank it and you're boiling water in around a minute and a half in real world tests, even when the air isn't exactly friendly. The windproof design shields the flame, so instead of watching it struggle in a breeze, you get a tight, concentrated burn that just keeps working. Using it feels reassuring. The stove has a broader base and folding arms that make a stable platform for a range of pots, from compact solo kits up to larger camping pots. Hook up the gas line, open the valve, hit the built-in piezo igniter, and it lights quickly and consistently. That built-in ignition is one of those, once you have it, you don't want to go back features, especially if you're cooking at night or in gloves. Where the WADEO really stands out is in marginal conditions. Light wind, steady wind, or those swirling gusts you get at exposed sites. The shrouded burner keeps the flame focused, so you're not constantly trying to shield it with your body like some kind of human windbreak. In tests, a liter of water can hit a rolling boil in around a minute and a half, which is wild when you're chilled and just want hot food or a drink now. 1. RELAXORIX Portable 8-Wick Kerosene Stove. At first glance, it looks almost old school, like something you'd see in a cabin or on a balcony, but once you use it, you get why it earns the top spot. This RELAXORIX Portable Kerosene Stove is built around a simple, tough metal body with a fuel tank of about 1 liter and 8 cotton wicks that feed the flame. It's made to run on kerosene or similar oil fuels, which are easy to store and great for long-term or off-grid use. The experience of cooking on it is different from a gas canister stove, in a good way. You fill the tank, adjust the wicks, light them, and after a short warm-up, you've got the steady, quiet heat source that feels more like a small range burner than a screaming jet of flame. Because the flame area is spread across multiple wicks, heat distribution under pots is broad and even, which really helps for rice, stews, and anything that would normally scorch in one hot spot. Where it really shines is in versatility and independence. Kerosene stores well, works in cold conditions where some canisters struggle, and doesn't require special threaded canisters that might be hard to find in some regions. For camping, backyard cooking, power outages, or use in places like Cuba where kerosene stoves are common, this thing becomes a multi-role tool, not just a weekend toy. Final thought, that's all for today, folks.